What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Just Greg. It's the Thanksgiving show, if you will. Have a good episode here. It's all about Thanksgiving. It's about turkey. It's about all sorts of other things related to Thanksgiving. A couple things up front. Go out, like, subscribe to the Bars Open with Beth and Greg. If you don't mind, out on YouTube and Spotify and iTunes and all those things, get that knocked out. Just go do it. Give us a little 5-star rating, little review out on iTunes if you don't mind. Also, go out, follow Fox News, FAWKES Media, out on Instagram. It's also out on YouTube. Doing that with Eric Tanzi for all of your entertainment and culture stuff. So let's jump into this. Thanksgiving can be a challenge for some folks, for a lot of folks, but can also be joyous and fun for some folks, right? So I have a few questions, a couple things to wonder about. First things, Thanksgiving is one of those big holiday travel weekends or weeks. I guess it's a week kind of thing. Are you a traveler? Do you go somewhere or do you host? There's challenges with both, right? If you're a host, you got to deal with a whole bunch of shit you weren't probably planning for unless you've done it before. And then you kind of know. But if you're a traveler, are you traveling to your brother-in-laws or your sister-in-laws down the street, your brothers, your mom and dads down the street? Or are you packing up your kids and all their shit and their iPads and making a 10-hour road trip to go sit on a couch in somebody else's living room and hang out? That's a dilemma. Are you getting on a plane? Are you flying? Are you renting a car? Are you staying at your parents' house with all your kids? Good Lord. There's a lot to contemplate with traveling, especially if y'all have kids. Right? We don't even have kids and we have to think about the dogs. I'm like, oh, great. That's going to be an extra $1,000 I had planned for that. Oh, don't be negative, Greg. Positive. It's $1,000 I get to spend on giving somebody else a fucking whatever. I don't know. But one of the things you have to consider is when you're the host, this is always a fun one, is what time do people start showing up at your house? Right? Do you schedule it? Are you tight? Are you tight on the schedule? Like, do not get to my house before 2. Then you can start eating all the olives and the hors d'oeuvres and all that shit because that stuff's not going to be ready yet. It's just not. It's not put out. I haven't put it out yet. The chips and the dips, they aren't laid out yet till 2 o'clock. Be mindful. If you're the guest traveling, be mindful. Don't be that person that shows up early to help out. Chances are they don't need help. They've got 5 other people that have already flown in from wherever, Florida or something like that, and they're already there helping out. And chances are your brother-in-law, or sister-in-law, or mom, or dad, or whomever's doing all this stuff probably doesn't want the help. Get the hell out of the kitchen. Don't be in the kitchen. Get your coffee and move your ass to the back porch or to the living room and go watch the Macy's Day Parade. Do that. Stay out of the way unless asked. Hey, Greg, go set the table. Do you mind setting the table, Greg? Of course not. I'm here to help. We're all there to help. Well, most of us, right? It's just one of those goofy days that you're like, it's not like Christmas. When Christmas, you just kind of like hop from house to house. You kind of have a snack here and there, have a little dessert or something like that. That's another thing. Do you have multiple Thanksgivings to have to show up to? If that's something that you do, like you got to go to your wife's families, you got to go to the husband's family, you got to go to grandma and grandpa's on both sides. Pace yourself with the eating. That's an important one to consider because everyone's going to try and feed you. And you can't be too full. Otherwise, you're a dick, right? Or just be like, I save room for pie, Grandma. Because I know you have the best pie. And you always have to compliment. Never forget to compliment the pies or the desserts or the whatevers, right? So I think it depends on the size of the family that's traveling as well. You know, if you have if you've got five family members, 6 family, you got 3 kids, 4 kids, right? You're at home. You've got Greg and Beth showing up to your house, something like that. It's easier for us to go to there, right? We come bearing foods. Beth bakes a bunch of stuff, makes some green bean casserole or something to add to it. And if everybody adds to it, that helps, right? I think another big piece of it is also that it really does depend on how good the cook is. Because everybody's had that first Thanksgiving where you just don't got it. You ain't got it down. Timing's off. The turkey took an extra hour. You're supposed to be sitting down to eat at 4. Turkey took an extra hour in the oven to bake. Potatoes are already done. The gravy is waiting. The stuffing, you can't get if you're a stuff the bird type of person, well, that's not going to be ready. So now you have stovetop sitting over there drying out. Timing is key with this meal. It's definitely key. You don't want dried out turkey. You want nice moist turkey. So how do you guys make your turkey? That's another big one. Are you brining it for 2 days? And by the way, if you haven't taken your turkey out by now, too late. Go buy another one because that bitch it's gonna be raw by the time you cook it because it's still gotta thaw out and it takes like 3 or 4 days to thaw, right? So again, timing. Timing is everything. This is something you have to plan for. Plan in advance. Always be prepared. Do you brine it? Do you bake it? Do you fry it? Do you smoke the turkey? Because that 15-pound turkey smoke in the smoker, that's going to take like 25 hours, probably more. I don't know. I've never done one. But my neighbor's a big, barbecue smoker guy, built his own barbecue pit and everything. I'm sure it takes a long time. So you got to plan for that. Maybe it's not 25 hours, but it's something crazy like that, I'm certain. Right? Frying is the fastest way to cook a turkey. And I've done that a few times. But you have to be mindful with the frying. It's got to be thawed out, dude. If you haven't thawed that turkey and you drop that thing into a boiling vat of oil, peanut oil, canola oil, whatever oils you're using, I think peanut oil is the best one to use. The viscosity is there. I think that's the viscosity you want. You end up like this. You end up with your shit catching on fire. Don't be this person. Love the Steve Aoki. And your house is on fire. Don't be this person. Don't be this. Don't be that guy. It's to be terrible. Don't do it. Happy Thanksgiving. Just be mindful that if you're gonna fry a turkey, put that bitch in your backyard somewhere, and then get one of those little what do you call them? Fire extinguishers in case you catch the neighborhood on fire because you haven't picked up your leaves and it's fall. So get on that too. That's what you're gonna do the next day. Is you're gonna rake. You're probably gonna die of a heart attack trying to do it. So you're gonna rake. And then you're going to set up Christmas lights. But that's a story for another time, right? The other thing is, my wife and I were talking about this. Beth and I were talking about this a little bit ago. Cranberries. Are you a canned cranberry person? Or are you a make them homemade kind of cranberry person? I'm a canned cranberry person. It's nostalgia for me. My mom used to do this, take that can, take the top off, plop that bitch in a plate, and then slice it up. And then she made it nice and she tipped it over. You know what I mean? Tipped it over so it looked all nice. It was easy enough for us. My mom had 3 boys. married, all that stuff. We ate her at a house and home. So that was perfect for us, right? The other pieces are, what's your favorite desserts? What's your favorite sides? My favorite side is definitely mashed potatoes and gravy. It's as simple as it gets. But don't make pre-made, like in the box, whatever, powdered, I don't even know what the hell they're called. Fake potatoes. You better peel all the potatoes. Maybe not you. That's where you hire a brother-in-law to come in. Or you tell them, hey, could you do me a favor? Could you peel these 37 potatoes? And then they end up with crab hands because their hands are locked up from peeling so many potatoes in it. By the time it comes to like chopping them up to throw them in the pot, they're useless. So then you just hand them a nice cold beer or a Coke, whatever, and a smile. And then you say, all right, go sit your ass on the couch now. Your day is done. You've done your chore for the day, right? It's all, just think through it. Time it out. I'm going to have Steve peel the potatoes. He's a mechanic. Why am I picking out the mechanic to peel the potatoes? Because he's got that wrench hand. All he does is wrench all day long. He can sit there for hours and just use a screwdriver or some shit for hours. And those dudes with those fucking baseball mitts, that's the dude you want to peel the potatoes. Just saying. I've got little keyboard hands. I can do it for a while. Jiu-jitsu hands, pretty strong. I can do that for a while. But you get up over a dozen potatoes, your hands are wearing out. Especially if you've got, say you're feeding 20 people. You're doing one of them Friendsgivings. There's a lot more food than just having like your aunt and uncle over. So, again, another thing to be mindful with. The biggest piece of this whole Thanksgiving adventure is your family. Love your family. Be kind. If you've got that one aunt or uncle that comes in, probably me, that comes in and likes to kind of tune people up and get them started up and having conversations. Every family's got one. Kind of try and keep that to a minimal on that day because it is funny to you, but your mom's over there in the corner crying because you and your great aunt fucking Elvira had she doesn't agree with your whatever bullshit politics or whatever it is that they just don't agree on. And, and now she's got to deal with that for the rest of her life. And you just get to go home, right? You're flying back to Florida and you're just like chilling, right? Or wherever you're from. You fly up to New York, you're going to Albany and you live in San Antonio, Texas. Probably different conversations had at each one of those houses, right? So be mindful of that too. Again, I don't know why am I saying mindful so much? Maybe this is a mindfulness episode. Thanksgiving mindfulness. Maybe that's what I'll put out there. The other thing is, like I said, everybody's got that family member. And if you don't know who that family member is that starts shit all the time, it's probably you, which is, you know what I mean? Just use that information for what it's worth. It's kind of that old saying is every group of friends has the asshole. And if you don't know who the asshole is, it's you. It's probably true. Unless you're like, I don't know. Maybe you're in one of those. Never mind. We'll leave it at that. How about that? As Joey Swolo, he says, do better. Mind your own business. I don't know about that part. Get into some people's shit, but don't be a dick about it. How about that? Happy Thanksgiving from Beth and I from The Bar is Open. We will see you next time. Cheers. Be good to each other.